Hey guys, what's up? We're gonna be making the Captain's Feast from Fallout 4's DLC Far Harbor. My name's Ife, and I'm here with my bestie, Diana. She's filming this, but she'll make an appearance later on. But yeah, we're just gonna be cooking this recipe up. I tried to make it as immersive as possible because in, the fine words of MXR, is it immersive? It has to be immersive. I try to make sure that all the ingredients were things that you could actually get in the Fallout universe, basically, or in a post-apocalyptic universe. Like, would they be able to make Parmesan cheese? Is that something that you could actually do? You can. And I looked it up, I googled it, I made sure. It's actually pretty easy to make Parmesan cheese. It takes a lot of time for the cheese to fully, get the flavors, but is it possible to actually make it? Yes, you can. So, without further ado, let's get to cooking.
Here are all the ingredients set up. We have heavy whipping cream, Parmesan cheese, A1 sauce, some whole baby clams, Old Bay seasoning, shrimp. We have steak, the corn, and then the bread.
Firstly, I'm gonna start with the corn. That's why I'm not just using it as a prop and like waving it around aimlessly. I'm actually going to cook this. I soak my corn, I don't know other people, but before I cook it, I soak it in a mixture of water and milk and sugar. They might have not taken, obviously, the extra step to do that, but I'm gonna do it because it tastes good.
What are you doing?
I'm filming you.
No.
Busting out the wine. We gotta drink a little wine to go with the Captain's Feast. That's how we do. Cause we're captains, we're pirates. I need muscles. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Oh.
Yay!
Okay.
And for all you guys who have never had Stella Rosa, for people who don't like wine, it's amazing, FYI.
Yeah.
Cheers. Yum.
Okay, so on to some actual cooking.
Oh, and then of course you're gonna need a cast iron skillet or something to cook the steak in. And that pot, what are we using the pot for? Corn?
Pot's for the sauce.
Oh, for the sauce. Here.
And you're gonna start by heating the heavy cream in a saucepan like this. Simmer a medium low for about 15 minutes. First, start. And see, now you have a sauce. This is gonna go on top of the Captain's Feast just to give it a little extra pizzazz, a little extra zhuzh. Obviously, the Captain's Feast from Fallout doesn't come with a sauce on it. It's just well, at least the item, when you pull it up in your inventory and actually examine it, it's just a piece of meat that looks like it has a slice cut out of it. But I try to think, like, if you just killed a Mirelurk queen, would you just want a plain ass ramen steak, or would you want something like with a little, it's for the, you just killed the Mirelurk queen for the town, you're the new captain, they want to show you their appreciation, so, and their, your acceptance into the community. So I would think they would jazz it up a little bit and like add a little something extra to it just to make it special. So that's what I'm doing. So if you're gonna make a steak on the stove, you have to get, I recommend a cast iron skillet, and you have to get it really, really, really like volcanic hot. Volcanic. Like, this thing has to be smoking because you want to sear the steak to hold in all the juice. But for this, we're just gonna start heating our cast iron skillet and wait till it gets really, 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 really super hot. Now we're gonna season our steak to our liking. I generally just do salt and pepper. Sometimes I'll do olive oil. I'll coat it with olive oil on the outside, then do the salt and pepper. It's kind of preference. And I don't recommend using table salt. Use kosher salt. It looks like this. It's kind of gritty, it's chunky. Looks like that. That's gonna work a lot better and not absorb as quickly as table salt. Salt Bay. Nobody cares about Salt Bay anymore. Sorry, Salt Bay. I think you're hot. They can grind the pepper fresh for you. Voila.
Okay, so when you know your pan is hot is when you actually see legit.
Like I said, smoking, man. Put it on high and just wait till it smokes. Don't add the oil till right before you're about to put the steak on, because it's gonna burn it out like so. I probably added too much oil. That's okay. And then away from you, like Gordon Ramsay says, don't put it so that it sprays you. Lay it down so it goes away, like that. So if any oil slides out of the pan, it goes that way. Let's not burn ourselves. Get a nice, good sear going on it. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Because a lot of people I know, the urge is strong to want to flip this bad boy. You can press it down if you want to sear nice and good on it, but don't flip it yet. Okay, after about 5 minutes or so. Now this is the point where you want to turn the heat probably like down to medium. And see how this salt and pepper, but especially the salt, gets kind of like a crispy crust. It helps get a nice crust on your steak. Pretty much done. Or you can just, if you want to like do it the cheap way, because this can release some of the juices, because you want to keep your steak as juicy as possible. But if you're not quite sure, cut a small little peek, a little hole there, and you can peek inside. You can kind of see like if it's at the doneness level. And you can kind of tell at that point, because it'll continue to cook just a little bit longer after you take it off the heat. So if you like it medium, say, get it to where it's looking still a little rare but closer to medium, take it off at that point, because it's still gonna cook. Even after you take it off. I'm gonna take this one off, because I like my medium rare. We're gonna add a little A1 and kind of spread it out both sides. I'm gonna add it back onto the heat for just a little bit, just to get it stuck onto the steak to sear it on. But you don't want to burn your A1 sauce. Sear the A1 on. Starting to look a lot like the Captain's Feast now, like the actual item from Fallout, like when you look at it in your inventory.
Just an FYI, while off screen, we rinsed out the pan or dumped it out.
Because you don't want A1 sauce on your shrimp. I mean, unless you do want A1 sauce on your shrimp. Hey, we don't judge around these parts, so whatever you want to do, whatever flavors you like. And a good hearty portion of Old Bay. In the post-apocalyptic wasteland, they would still have access to, you know, some seasonings, whether they be 200 some odd years old seasonings, but otherwise they could grow herbs and things like that and peppers, and then lay it out in the sun, dry it out, and make their own seasonings. But the butter comes in. We kind of forgot to mention this earlier, but got butter here for the shrimp. So I would cook the shrimp with the butter instead of using the oil, just to give it a little extra flavor. If not, just use some oil, whatever oil you use to initially cook your steak with. Like, for example, if you don't like A1 sauce, you can just throw it in the pan after you take the steak out, and you should be good. That'll keep it simple. Grab your sauce again for the last time. It's kind of, might be congealed at this point, or kind of cold, so if you want to, you know, heat it back up. And this is one of my personal touches I wanted to add to the recipe, because I was looking at like Bar Harbor and what would they have had easy access to. It's really easy to catch shrimp and, you know, clams and things like that. They wouldn't have had deep sea fish for those items. They would have been really super easy to catch near the shore. So I was like, I wanted to add a little bit of a seafood, you know, Maine, New England style, you know, to the Captain's Feast, because I thought it should be kind of like, have like a fish ocean element to it. I'm gonna add our baby clams to the sauce. And at this point, your corn should also be done as well, so you can go ahead and turn off your corn. All right. Okay, so here is the captain's feast, fully plated and ready for the new captain of Far Harbor to chow down on his or her reward meal, reward feast. Ready for the sole survivor to chow down. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and support us on our social media. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We're probably gonna have a Facebook, and we're also probably gonna have a Patreon. So if you wanna learn how to make stuff from different fandoms, we're gonna be coming out with a lot more recipes soon, so stay tuned. Thanks guys, see ya.